Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to Rock Bottom Podcast with Ray DeVito, formerly known as the G Hole Podcast. And yeah, I got Mark Norman. We all love Mark Norman, one of the funniest comics out there. And yeah, just did the Funny Bone in Cincinnati, Ohio, with him, and he crushed it. He crushed it every show. It was great. It's awesome just watching like his fans come out knowing who he is, and like, yeah, it's just, yeah, every time like you work with him, it's like impressive to see like the fan base he's built and everything he's done. Yeah, check out his website, marknormancomedy.com, and check out all his tour dates coming up. And yeah, he's a killer and always got new stuff. It's yeah, really impressive. And yeah, his podcast Tuesday with Stories with Joe List. Check that out. But yeah, we have good times on this. You're gonna enjoy it. And I want to also say SilkCityHotSauce.com. Check out them. Jeff Levine and the boys doing some fine things. Put in G-Hole, save 20% on all that, and join the Patreon. You sons of bitches, come on, the Patreon, patreon.com/Ray DeVito. Thank you guys, everyone who has joined. I appreciate it. You're still Sark. He's the MVP of the whole thing. But yeah, we're up to 40 now, which is not bad. Doing this a couple months, and I appreciate it, man. I really do. I love it. Thinking about getting some rock bottom t-shirts. I know some people want rock bottom t-shirts, so yeah, I'm gonna do some of those up. So yeah, I'll do that. June 1st, though, that's when I'm gonna record an hour. The Matt Mead, the Secret Show guys, we're gonna do it at Grove 34 in Astoria, New York, Queens. June 1st. I don't have the links up yet on how to get tickets for that, but I plan on doing 2 shows on that Wednesday. And but in the meantime, where will I be? I'll be in New York City this week doing the stand show tomorrow night. And then where else am I? I'm at Eastville Comedy Club. I know that. Then the weekend, House of Satire in Hanover, Pennsylvania, if you're around. Then back on the road doing all 3, doing Looney Bins, Tulsa, Oklahoma City. And yeah, RayDeVito.net for my schedule. Then I'm in the Bahamas for a while. What am I doing? So, Springfield, Illinois, April 30th. Check that out. That's if you're anywhere near that area, at Chesapeake and Springfield, Illinois. All right. I love everybody. All this stuff's on the tour dates. All right. I love all you guys, man. Yeah, this is great. I just drove through the night, did the last show Sunday, and then sat down in the green room with Norman, did the podcast, and then drove to Lancaster. I go back to New York tonight. You gotta see the neurologist, make sure I'm not gonna die tomorrow. I'll be there for 4 hours before the show. And then I'll see you at the stand. And we'll have good times. All right. I love everybody. Enjoy. Peace.
This is a green room, folks.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, Funny Bone, green room. We just did a Sunday show. You host. What am I doing?
Please host now. This is awesome.
All right.
I feel like I'm back with Bob Bigger staff again. Like, yeah, please host it. Go ahead. With the Liberty Funny Bone, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Sitting on a Pauly Shore's jizz stain right here.
We're sitting on a love seat.
Yeah.
It's obviously a first date. There's a space between us.
Yeah, you never see a hate seat.
Yeah. Yeah, most people listen to this on audio. I get like 2,000 listens per episode, but because you're on it, it's going to be more.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I might blow it.
People like you. Some people, not your parents, but
no. You're thinking of Pete Davidson. People like him. He's cute. He's getting laid. Nobody's after this guy.
You're getting married.
I know. Well, that's why I found one person who's willing to fuck me, and I locked it down.
By the way, someone at the show tonight, because you do a Q&A after your shows. You crush it all week, by the way.
Thank you. You too. Good shows, good crowds, good club.
And I'm cutting that. I'm cutting that. Yeah,
okay.
I'm cutting that out. Yeah.
I feel like we had a decent start. So if you want to just cut that chunk out,
I'm just cutting
good.
that.
Okay.
Dude, I don't stink at podcasts, man. I'm all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then get to it.
All right. I got some shit I want to talk about.
Oh, I hope so.
Things. I mean, I want to talk to you about like just stuff like us being friends over the years and stuff.
Sure.
But just some shit in the news, just for
please.
Just for the
Love
hell of
the
it.
news.
We're recording this Sunday, March 20th, and this will be out at the very latest Tuesday morning. At the very
Okay,
latest, just
I'll
'cause,
repost.
But my Cleveland Browns, I'm from Cleveland.
Yeah, I've heard that. You mentioned that about 17 times today.
18.
Yeah.
18.
What do you guys calling the Indians now?
I'm gonna always call them the tribe. I never even call them the Indians.
Like the Jews.
I call them.
They're a tribe.
I call them the tribe. But here's what people don't know: it's the Guardians. It's the Guardians.
That's no fun.
That's but
the Guardian. That's what I call my dad. He's my legal guardian.
Exactly. Hey,
that's no good.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
Guardian.
Well, I guess the things that are on the, which I always saw the sculptures on the highway as you're driving downtown, is like it looked like Pegasus. I always thought it was like Pegasus, but I guess they're called Guardians.
Oh, is that right?
The statues. I always thought it was a statue. I'm like, why do they have a statue of Pegasus?
Yeah,
in Cleveland, but no, I didn't know they were called Guardians until they changed their name and like, these are the Guardians, and they're like, oh, that's what those statues were called this whole time.
I didn't know that.
Me either, and I grew up there.
Guardian. They had every option on the planet, and they went with Guardian.
Well, you know why? Because it's like kind of similar to Indians. It's a lot of the same letters.
Oh, so they could keep the font and everything.
Yeah, it's like more like, so like they're like, I don't like it. I always call them the tribe because like that's what you call them in Cleveland.
Oh, tribe. I didn't know that.
They've always been called the tribe.
Okay.
Like every time on Sports Center when I was a kid, like Stuart Scott, who died of cancer years ago.
Was he the eye guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he was bad. He had a lot of bad takes.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe it wasn't him, but someone would always say when the Indians like were coming up in the 90s, like we had that really good team, and every time they would show the highlights and go, they would call them a tribe from Cleveland. Because that's also like let's go tribe. It's like what they say.
Yeah.
Like we're in Cincinnati right now and they say who day.
Yeah, what is who day?
I don't know where that came.
Because we're who dat at the Saints.
Oh, so you take
Yeah, we had who dat in the 60s. You know what who dat means?
No, what does who dat mean?
Well, we're a mostly black city in New Orleans. So it just became part of the vernacular to say who dat saying they're beating them Saints. That's how we talk. A little Cajun down there. Who dat say they're beating them Saints?
So that makes sense that you guys say it, but in Cincinnati.
Yeah, what is who day?
Yeah.
DEY. What the hell is that?
Why did you not ask them questions?
I should have. It just hit me.
Why did you not? Like,
You're
why
right.
The fuck? Like, yes. Appropriations?
Yeah, we got to give that a goog. I wonder why they're who day.
Yeah, I don't know why they're who day.
What a rip off. Rip Torn.
Yeah, Rip
Taylor.
Was he a punk rocker? How come every punk rock isn't he also a punk rocker? Every letter?
No, that's an actor.
Oh,
Rip Torn. He was
what happened to the name Rip?
People Rip's a great name.
They quit using the name. I want to be Rip.
Well, it's not good on a vaginal tear, but there's a guy on the show Yellowstone. His name is Rip. Great name.
That's an awesome name. I wouldn't mind being if you could have a different name. What would your name be?
I like the name Felix.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it, but it's so classic. It's got an X in it. It's fun. I've never met a guy named Felix either. It's weird because we all know the name, but you've never met anybody named Felix. Have you?
No, I think it's more a Latino name.
No, is that right?
Yeah, Felix Fermin. I mean, I was thinking of baseball players.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like Dominican players named Felix.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But
what about
Shep?
Shep. That's a cool name.
That sounds short for shepherd. I
don't like shepherd.
What about Shep? Rock? Remember Rock Hudson? How come how come more kids were not named Rock?
You can't go wrong with Rock.
Yeah.
That's a great name. That's a man.
Yeah, like that's like no, we're gonna call him Francis instead.
Yeah.
Like who would not pick Rock over Francis?
Maybe that's the gamble. Is he call this kid Rock, but what if he comes out to be half a hoo hoo ha ha?
And then you got to name your other kids Paper and Scissors.
Hey.
Jokes, but Rock was like a big name.
Yeah. What about Rocco?
Yeah. You know
Italian.
what?
Hey, Rocco.
Well, I know.
Or Rocky.
Rocco is also an Italian last name. I know.
Yeah.
I have cousins with the last name. What the hell? I haven't seen him forever. I don't want to say Rockefeller, but it's not Roscoe. And people call
that's a good name
that's her
too.
last name is Roscoe. So people call him Rocco because like which you just call him Roscoe. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, I don't know why Rocco Roscoe.
I like Roscoe. That's a Roscoe Norman would be a great comedy name.
Yeah.
Roscoe DeVito. That's a killer name.
Fuck yeah. But I was my Browns got Deshaun Watson.
Yes, you've mentioned that.
Yeah, we turns out he's like one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he's amazing.
See, these quarterbacks, much like comedians and actors, the more fucked up shit they do, the more talented they seem to be.
Yeah, he's got
Got a lot of assaults.
22 sexual misconduct things pending.
Uh-huh.
So he's been cleared of all criminal charges.
Oh.
So it's all been cleared. It went through the courts. He's cleared, but he's gonna have to like settle the civil lawsuits, but that's on him.
Okay.
Or whatever. But anyways, a lot of people in Cleveland are like, well, screw this guy, understandably.
Yeah.
But like people like, I'm not going to root for the Browns. Well, the Browns are still my team. And I was saying to you before, like people like, hey, well, how are you going to still root for the Browns? Like, that's still my team.
Sure.
You know, I'm not, I don't condone what he did. I don't even know what he did, but it is in the legal, it's in the court system.
You're right.
Do you get what I'm saying? So it's being handled.
Yeah.
Like I can't. It's not like I'm gonna hang out with them.
Right.
Like
right.
it's not like Deshaun Watson's like, hey Ray DeVito, what? Hey Roscoe DeVito,
Yeah.
what are you doing today? Let's go have a beer.
You can separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. So it's
like Cosby. Like Cosby's a piece of shit. He's a bad guy. He's a demon. But
Bill Cosby himself is one of the greatest.
It's one of the greatest albums.
So by the way, let's talk about this real quick. I always thought that was the best comedy special I ever saw.
Yeah.
But I think the best one, and I'm older than you, but when I was in high school and Chris Rock's Bring the Pain.
I was just gonna say that Chris Rock in the 90s was unbeatable to me.
But Bring the Pain was stuff that, like, to me before that, jokes were always funny. I was always into comedy, but it was never like
powerful.
It was never like relevant. What was going on?
Well, Carlin had some social commentary
to a degree. Get
Get
on the plane. I'm getting in the.
Wow,
you know what I mean? Like some.
There's
stuff.
that too. Yeah, he could go observational. He could go commentary. He can go pun.
Then again, he had like
silly.
17 hours. So
exactly.
I mean, yeah. So me to like, yeah, Richard Pryor was great, but it was about himself, which it should be.
Also good. Also great.
Amazing.
But Rock was talking about
what was in the news,
the society. Yeah, exactly. That was awesome.
And he was the first one ever to do that. Like the whole like, I'm not saying he should kill his wife, but I can understand like that. Like we all, you know.
I guess she needs some cheese on her Whopper. Yeah, I know the whole thing back to front. I've watched it 8,000 times. The N-word versus black people.
Yeah.
And then Bring the Pain. I mean, Bigger and Blacker was amazing too.
It was awesome.
Big piece of chicken, the Robitussin, Shake It Up, Motussin.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Rock is the #1 best angle guy. He always has the best angle. One time he was at the Cellar, this is years ago when Trump was running the first time and Hillary was running. And I went to the bathroom at the Comedy Cellar, and to go to the bathroom, you have to pass through the showroom. So he was on stage, and I got, a 12-second snippet. And all I heard was, why the fuck would Hillary want to run for president? Why the fuck would you want to work at the place you got cheated on?
That's brilliant.
If I got cheated
heard that on the special.
I know. He's like, if I got cheated on,
that's what he's putting in his back pocket. And
I know.
And then I'm up here with doing my horse shit.
I've never heard it again. He's like, if I got cheated on at Red Lobster, I wouldn't be working at Red Lobster. And I'm like, that's brilliant. That was just a bathroom walk. And that's he had the best takes of any comedian.
Dude,
I know.
You know what? He might be to me. I mean, it's I always thought he was great, but is he still, because you're at the Cellar all the time. Is he still doing stuff?
He's back now. The last couple of weeks, he's been running around doing spots. So I think he's got a tour cooking, and I can't wait to see what he puts out. Because Tambourine, we don't have to go it now. We're getting nerd shit. But Tambourine had some. You
can't move your foot. You can leave it out there, but you can't move it.
Tambourine had some gold in it, but it didn't feel like the old Rock. Like all the way. The old special was like everything was gold all the way through 100%.
Yeah, and all relevant.
All relevant.
It wasn't even like And there were jokes that were like relevant at the time. On
Yes,
top of
yes.
it was insane.
Insane. It was unheard of. It was unprecedented.
Yeah.
That's the word.
And with all that, how was he so bad on SNL?
Well, I think there was 3 black guys on there. I don't think he's a sketch guy.
No,
Some guys just aren't
which
sketch
is
guys.
fine. I'd rather stand up, but I'm just saying, like, that's like, yeah, you had him do, but like that didn't come out in SNL. Not that it should. I don't give a shit if it comes out in SNL. Yeah. But I mean, I liked SNL, but I liked like Sandler, Farley, and stuff. Like that's how I know I'm getting old. Like I don't really like I mean, we all love Che and
Jost.
and Davidson, but I mean, I don't watch SNL anymore. I have no idea. Maybe I'm.
Well, after Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig, Tracy Morgan, it was just kind of the whole thing feels different now.
Well, because like Will Ferrell, you just watch any movie he was in, and you're like, I'm gonna love it, even if it's garbage.
I know, he's incredible. Him and Jim Carrey, guys like that, where you're like, this is just gonna be great because they're in it.
And you know, he would, and he's, I mean, rest his soul. But Chris Farley was that guy, and then I saw Beverly Hills Ninja.
I owned a VHS.
Oh, and then you're like, oh,
yeah, that was bad. But they're just like, you do your thing. We'll just shoot it. We'll make a shitty plot and a story arc, but you just fall down a lot.
You know, my favorite before Sandler did any movies, my favorite SNL sketch. I wasn't planning on talking about this at all, but remember he did that sketch, the Denise show.
Oh, he's got dumped.
Yeah, where Shannon Doherty was his ex-girlfriend,
yes.
And he'd just be in the basement. Kind of feels like we're in the basement.
Sure.
Where it's like, this is where I call up the new guy Denise is dating.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember being a kid and loving that.
That was great.
It was just so good. And then like his dad, the boyfriend calls off and he's like, I said I'm a like, say you're a loser. Like, okay, I'm a loser.
That and the Chris Farley talk show where you interview Paul McCartney or whoever. Amazing.
Yeah, where you just get madams.
Yeah. God. So relatable.
Yeah.
But
fucking gold.
I'm such a Chris Rock fan. I just listen. I'll just search on podcast in the little, what is that? The little magnifying glass. I'll search Chris Rock and it'll show all the podcasts he's on. And I saw he was on David Spade's. I didn't even know David Spade had a podcast. So I listened. It's a lot of SNL inside baseball stuff, but there was one part where they were talking about Sandler, and they just talked about Sandler for 20 minutes, but they're like, he had so many ideas. The girls loved him. He would come to the set with new shit every week. He had weird shit, Opera Man, Spoon Man, or whatever the fuck.
Cajun Man.
Man.
The Denise show was my favorite.
Denise show was great.
Denise show was like my favorite of what he did.
Yeah.
Because you can all relate as a teenage kid with angst.
Yes.
Of like
that girl that got away.
No, we all like, there's so many girls where probably never thought of me, but like in my dumb like 10th grade head, I'm like, all I did is like think about like, I wonder what she used to like.
Oh
like,
yeah, totally.
Like, shit, why'd I say that to her today? Shit, I blew it.
I still do that.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? You're getting married. You can't.
Well, we want to be liked as comedians, so I'm like, why didn't that girl like me? And then you're like, God, you tell yourself, stop liking her. Stop it. But the more you tell yourself that, the more you think about it.
Right. And the more you're like, just keep thinking about it.
Yeah.
But back to the Deshaun thing, like we were saying earlier, is all right. His shit's going through the legal process. So it is what it is. So I'm still a Browns fan. That's like I was telling you before, like, and I might try to do it as a bit, but the whole thing, like, all right, if you go to Starbucks, you don't know what that, or you go to some coffee shop you like, you don't know that guy's past history. If you find out about his past history, are you now going to judge him? Like everything you do in life, like everywhere you go, are you going to be like, all right, I can't shop here anymore because
I know it's very strange. It's a good point.
Like, all right, what's this person's past history? Like, what do I got to know about everything? I got my own shit. I got my own life to worry about. It's in the legal system.
Right.
If he did some shitty shit, it's going to come out. He's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
So why am I
agree.
Why do I got to like pick my lanes? Like, why am I an asshole now? Because like, yeah, I'm still from Cleveland and I'm still a Browns fan.
I think as long as you're supporting the Browns and not him individually, you're fine.
Shit.
You're not out there with
so
a Deshaun.
I should cancel that jersey I ordered.
Yeah, don't get the jersey. Don't get the jersey.
My Watson #1 finger.
Yeah, smell that finger, by the way.
my they're all lying T-shirt.
Believe all NFL players. Yeah,
That's hilarious. Believe all NFL.
but yeah, I think it's the Browns. You're supporting the institution of the Browns.
Yeah,
I support the blacks, but yeah, you're supporting the team, not him.
Wait, you don't like the Latinos now? Is that what you're saying?
What do they play?
Baseball.
Felix.
That's
right.
Hence why Felix. You don't watch baseball. There's a lot of Felix Hernandezes in the history of the Major League Baseball.
Got it.
Turns out they're pretty good shortstops.
Is baseball going away? What do you think?
No, it's bad. Well, I do think it's definitely taken a dive, and understandably so, because like it's not a level playing field.
Really?
No, it's not like the also like baseball's so full of himself that it's gonna kill itself. Like it's already like kind of killed itself. Like they all did these regional contracts now with the television network. So like if I can't watch a Cleveland game unless I'm in Cleveland, like they're not even on they're not really on TV anywhere. They're on like this Bally Sports thing, and you got to buy the Cleveland edition of it. Like when I was a kid, I can name because I collect baseball cards, as you know. I can name the starting lineup for like pretty much every team in baseball. I can't do that now. I have no idea.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird as shit, and that's why.
Why
and the
are they doing that?
the NBA is crushing it. Like the NFL and NBA is crushing it. But you remember like rotisserie baseball was a big deal.
What does that mean?
It was fantasy baseball. Before it was fantasy
that
football,
was huge.
It was fantasy
huge.
baseball. No one plays fantasy baseball anymore.
No, it's all football now.
Yeah, it's all football, and the NBA playoffs are a big deal. But like, I don't know who's on whose team in baseball until the season starts.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's
like Comedy Central, where they're trying to like, they won't come up to date. They won't progress. They're like, hey, we do it our way. And you're like, I know, but it's hurting your viewers. Comedy Central now has gone belly up. I feel like baseball, that's happening too. Like, hey, you got to be in Cleveland. You want to watch the Cleveland game, or you got to buy this package. You're like, what are you doing to me? Just show me the game.
Yeah. It's a weird thing because like the people that are on their rookie contracts can only make like X amount of money, and once they do that 6 years, then they get like crazy money if you're still relevant. But it's like it's not a level playing field. I don't know how to fix baseball.
Damn.
I don't know how, and also
it's boring.
Yeah, it's very boring, and it's getting more and more boring.
But they say that about soccer, and that's the number one sport in the world.
I know. I lived in Astoria for 15 years. I think it's a Moody McCarthy joke. When, when Greece scores at 4:00 in the morning. I am well aware.
Underrated comic, Moody.
Very funny
and
dude.
handsome guy.
Oh, back to David Spade. Remember Bobby Miyamoto?
Oh yeah.
He when Spade had his TV show, he was like the head writer on it for a while.
Lights Out?
Yeah. The one that was like a few years ago.
That's huge. Good for Miyamoto. What's he doing?
All right, he's gonna do my podcast. He had a stroke a couple years ago. So yeah, he's recovering from that. Yeah, I know.
What is a stroke? Like
I don't know. Aaron Burr just had one.
I heard, and Keith Robinson had two. Is it diet? Is it exercise? Is it hereditary? Is it anal? What is it?
Anal.
Damn, I gotta stop having anal. Yeah. That's a different kind of
Too
stroke.
late. You did it 3 times today. I don't know. I know high blood pressure, Aaron was telling me, is what did it for him.
Oh shit.
That's what
is that, but he's sober too.
Yeah, why is drinking bring up your blood pressure?
Well, I'm just saying it hurts your health.
Well, yeah, it doesn't help your health.
No.
Yeah, that I always thought that was funny. Like people like, oh, you can't drink on medication. Like, yeah, that's of course a doctor's gonna say that. No doctors were like, what are you taking? Some penicillin? Oh, you want to get loaded. People you want to get wasted and then do some penicillin. So yeah. But yeah, don't drink on medication. That's what I'm trying to tell the lovely people. Most people listen to this audio, but we look like we're about to make out here.
Yeah, it's like a two guys, one couch over here. So yeah, we just did a show and now we're here hanging.
The other thing I was going to ask you about that's in the news is I forget her name. She just won the swimmer of the year. She just
Oh,
won.
Lia Thompson.
Lia Thompson.
Yeah, she's pissing a lot of people off.
Yeah. What's your take on that?
Well, here's my take. It's a transgender thing. Transgender people are considered whatever sex or gender they identify as.
Right.
But you know what it feels a lot like, and I wasn't around for this, but it feels like in the 40s when black people started playing sports, there was a lot of white people like, we got to cut this off. They're going to keep beating us. We can never win again. And that's what transgender sports feels like. It feels like the new version of black. Like, we'll never win again. These people are mutants.
Well, you know what? I will say? I never gave a shit about college women's swimming before.
Oh,
like,
that's a good point.
Like it's going to like this Emma Wyant. That I didn't know that Liz Thomas is the lady you said. Lia Thomas.
Yeah, Thompson, something like that.
And then this Emma Wyant, like I was reading an article about.
Is that another trans?
No, she finished second, and it's like I never would have known their names. I never would have known anything about women's swimming.
That's a great point.
Like if this we need some transgender women to start playing in the WNBA. And we'll start. I'm gonna watch.
That's a great call.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like
some 360 dunks coming to the WNBA.
Remember there was a movie in the 90s, Joanna Man?
Yes.
Who was it? Like Kadeem Harrison?
I know. I think that was Whoopi. No, not Whoopi. That was Eddie.
Who's Eddie?
Eddie was a Whoopi movie about basketball.
Oh.
Back before she hated the Jews. Am I right?
Oh. By the way, we were talking about him just here yesterday. Michael Somerville, who we both love.
Mm-hmm.
Great dude.
Great guy. Funny guy.
But when I first got to New York City, Whoopi Goldberg had a sitcom.
Uh-oh.
And I don't know if you remember. I don't remember it, but I had an audition for a role, and I'd never been on an audition before at all. And Michael Somerville was also he was there, and I like walked in there and was like, oh, he's like, oh hey, what's very cool to me. I'm like, dude, I've never been on an audition. Very cool to me. Took me like outside, like
sweet guy.
He's such a sweet guy. And everyone else would go in there for just a minute and then they'd be out, like in a minute, in and out. I went in there and I was in there for like maybe like 10, 12 minutes. I was in there like twice as long as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come out and Michael Somerville was like, oh my God, dude, they were laughing the whole time.
Whoa.
Like they were laughing. They were like, no one else was in there that long. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
That probably helped you.
No, I didn't know how to. No, I obviously didn't get it. They were laughing at my he was like, yeah, we're all sitting in there like we should all go home. It's like, no. They were like, I've never been. I didn't know what slate your name means. I didn't know anything. So I just thought it was such a nice guy. He's like, dude, that was like, he's such a good dude.
He's a mensch. He's
so good. He just got married. He'll tell you what.
Yeah, that's right. Where's that Whoopi Goldberg show now, huh? You see?
Yeah.
You didn't miss out on much.
Yeah, they didn't take either one of us.
Well, I'm sure that show sucked.
Too many Jews in it.
Well, yeah, the show is about the Holocaust not being racially motivated.
But yeah, he was such a fucking great guy, Somerville.
Oh yeah, still is.
But
Joanna Man,
that's what it was.
You couldn't do that show. You couldn't, or that movie. You couldn't do just one of the guys. Was a movie about a lady pretending to be a dude.
Yeah.
There was plus there was Soul Man.
Yeah, Soul Man, the dude that like was in.
C. Thomas Howell.
I didn't want to say it's not blackface. He took
It is. Well, I guess it was black body.
Well, how did he end up being black?
I think he put on a bunch of bronzer and went into the tanning booth. I think it's been a minute since I saw.
Yeah, that movie's just even talking about it makes me feel
I know.
Like,
he walks out like, "Hey, what's up, my soul brother? What's shaking, Big Daddy?" Like he acted black and everything. It was super uncomfortable. But it came on Comedy Central like 4 times a day when I was a kid.
And that's I think about like we were talking about comedy specials. Like even when I was a kid. Or younger, I remember watching Delirious and being like, this is kind of
harsh.
Yeah, like did you ever remember that, like seeing it
I just thought that's what comedy is. Like even Dice, who I never got, I was never a Dice guy, would be like, "Hey, Hillary Dickory Doc sat on my cock." Oh, and I remember being like, "This is weird.
Yeah.
Why is
yeah.
everybody so excited about this? He's just saying nursery rhymes and sit on my cock." I never got the appeal of Dice.
Yeah, the only thing Will Smith died was a character. Like,
Yeah. Now
yeah.
that's impressive.
By the way, he's a great actor.
Great actor.
I don't know. Did you see that movie, the one that won the Oscar?
Yeah,
He played Lady Gaga's dad.
I did see that, and he's in the new Pam and Tommy show as a mob guy, and he's great. He was in a Woody Allen movie. He's a great
it's
actor.
already out, the Pam and Tommy thing?
Yeah, Hulu.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, Hulu's buying up everything.
Dude, that's also weird. Like, I don't want to feel like sound like an old man, but like everything's on different channels. Like you got Amazon, you got Hulu, you got HBO Max.
Those are just the new channel. We used to have
Yeah.
Fox, ABC, NBC. Now we have Hulu, Netflix, HBO, Apple,
Pirate Bay,
Amazon. Yeah.
Somebody didn't say.
I steal cable too.
Yeah, it's all right. Let's talk about. All right, I'm gonna talk about you in comedy, man.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So you got to New York. What year?
2007.
2007.
September.
All right. That's right about the time, like, because I moved there right around, like, I literally just started doing the road, because I started in Cleveland and I could do like road gigs, and then Jesse Joyce he immediately moved to New York City
From Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Funny guy.
Great, hilarious dude. Great
writer.
joke, right? Unbelievable.
He's written
Killing it.
probably have you seen the roasts on comedy? He wrote probably 90% of those
For
the
real?
good jokes. Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, he's like you have to move to New York City. Like you have to move. So I moved, but I was doing the road full. That was my only money. So I subletted my room to some guy named Matt Taylor, who's I don't even know if he's still doing comedy. But
blonde guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
but
happened to him?
So I have no idea. But he lived in my room for like 3 years, and I would always get calls from Jesse like, "What the fuck? When you like?"
Remember Tim Young?
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Funny dude.
Yeah, he killed it.
Uh-oh.
Excuse me.
He queefed. That's a queef.
He used to live with Joe List, and I was friends with Joe List. And I remember going to Joe List's house. They lived together, and there would be checks on the table, like 4, 5, 6 checks. I was like, "Well, what's got here? $2,000
colleges, I bet.
college gigs."
Yeah.
I was like, "2,000." It was the most money I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I got Quinnipiac University
Woo!
Sunday.
Quit bragging.
Yeah,
Quinnipiac.
No, it's, I wish it was 2000. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm just happy to.
Hey, a gig's a gig.
You got to do what you got to do.
Sure, they're giving you a couple hundo.
Yeah, no, I'm doing it. It's okay. It's worth doing.
All right. I don't know where the fuck Quinnipiac is.
It's in Connecticut. It's like an hour north of New York City.
It sounds like a Guardian name, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Indian.
Yes, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
By the way,
folks at home.
Yeah, for the people at home, we're talking about the love. By the way, the Indians were named the Indians because they used to name their best player, or Nap Lajway was like the best Cleveland Indian. They were called the Cleveland Naps because their manager and best player was Nap Lajway. So they're called the Cleveland Naps. Yeah, this is what later became the Cleveland Indians. Then after that, when he retired, their best player was Tris Speaker. So they wanted to name the team after him. And he's like, "Well, I'm part Native American, but this guy's full Native American. How about we just call it the Indians in honor?" So the first 100% full-blooded Native American player was on our team. That's why they're named that's why they were named the Indians.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, they were not named it as a. Now the Chief Wahoo thing got a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like
It's a good-looking logo, though. You
Yeah,
gotta admit.
yeah.
I mean,
yes.
it's offensive, but it's so cool.
Yeah. Major League. They made a movie because of it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, everybody loved Major League.
Underrated comedy.
Yeah. But that's why they were named the Indians. It wasn't like, how can we downplay, like, how can we shit on people? It didn't come from that.
It never does. It never comes from. I mean, the Braves, the Blackhawks, the Indians. None of it is in malice.
Yeah.
Or malicious, I should say.
Malicious. Yeah.
The Fighting Irish is a little touchy, but no.
But they love it. You
Do they?
kidding me? Yeah, every Irish person I know fucking is a huge Notre Dame fan.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Irish people don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They're getting car bombed and shit,
Yeah,
which
and then
is a great drink.
like I was hanging out here in Cincinnati because I had a show at Chameleon on Wednesday and I had nothing to do, and I was hanging by Go Bananas and everyone's like dressed in green for St. Obviously, I was like, you know what? You don't have to dress in green. You look unhealthy. I just assume you're Irish. I just
Yeah, you're freckly, you're pale, you're drunk, you got a small dick. We got it.
And they will show you their dick. That's
Oh
it.
yeah,
Even the women, they're like, look how small this clit is. Look how tiny it is.
Still can't find it.
It's the smallest clit. That's what they want. They want to help finding it.
There you go. It's a little leprechaun.
Yeah.
Pot of gold.
So you moved 2007.
Yep.
All right.
I did my first set in May 2006, 06. And I was so scared because it didn't go great. I didn't do it again for like a year.
Stop it.
And then I did it again. And then
Get
I fell
outta
in love
here.
with it. Got over the fear a little bit more. I had stage fright like you wouldn't believe. And then by September, I was like, I'm moving to New York.
Really?
Yeah.
And you didn't like start on the road or anything?
No, we did. We had one open mic in New Orleans, and I would drive to Lafayette, or I'd drive to Baton Rouge, or I'd drive wherever to do time. Drove to Texas, but we had no shows, we had no club, so you had to move.
Yeah, and that's a tough spot to go from. Like,
Yeah,
Cleveland is at least central
yes,
to like Chicago, Detroit, Pittsburgh,
true.
like Youngstown, Cincinnati. Like, it's not crazy far from anything.
Yeah, Dayton, you got all kinds
Louisville's
of stuff.
not far.
Chicago,
Lexington's not far. Like Indianapolis isn't crazy far.
Mhm.
So like it wasn't a bad hub. But like
Great
I don't
hub.
know about you. Like my thing, like I got to New York and I just did the road.
Mm.
So I was a road comic.
Mhm.
So like I was just like anything to get a laugh, which didn't play. You know what I mean? As I got like
Yeah,
what's a joke? I used to do this.
hit me.
I used to wear a wig in my pants and be like, no, I'm owning it.
Lay it
I'm
on me,
owning it,
fatty.
I'm owning
Come
it.
on, give it to
But
me.
I used to be like, I'm Italian. We just want a woman to rub her fingers through our hair like you or this. I don't care. And then I pulled on my pants and it'd be a bushy wig. Like
Wow,
it would crush in middle America.
yeah.
Like, but I mean, obviously when I got to, so I mean, I was a road act.
Uh-huh.
So like, and that's all I knew. Cause like that's, and I would get a lot of road work because like headliners like, oh, I just need someone to drive me.
Uh-huh.
And
And you got that big bush bit that kills. So yeah, you're a hot commodity.
I did it tonight. I'm doing you now. I did it tonight.
No, it's sideways,
Yeah.
not over. There you go. There you go.
Didn't go so well tonight.
It's funny because you know the road well. Like we did a gig, me and you in North Carolina not too
Yeah.
long ago, and I was like, "What do you think of this host?" You're like, "He's a little roady."
He was he crushed.
He did well,
He
but
crushed.
you put it. I was like, "He is roady." You nailed it.
Yeah. By the way, we were speaking about Nate Bargatze earlier.
Yeah,
My favorite Nate Bargatze story.
killer.
So he's a beast. And this is so we're in Knoxville, Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and the dude hosting the show would he'd do a joke about like I was watching this program. It was the Comedy Zone in Knoxville. It doesn't exist anymore. It's been closed. But this dude would do a joke. I'm see like I was watching the show on TV about labia reduction. Someone got their labia. It was like, and they just chop it up and then they throw it away. It's like, why are you throwing that away? That's good pussy. You should wrap it up.
Whose joke was this? Is not Nate's joke.
No. This
Oh.
is the host of the show.
Okay,
Nate will
okay.
going after him.
Got it.
And he go, they cut off the labia and then they just throw it away. Like, why are you throwing it away? That's good pussy. You should wrap it up and sell it as lesbian chewing gum.
Wow.
Call it coochie fruit.
Oh.
And then he would sell a t-shirt that instead of juicy fruit, it said coochie fruit.
This guy was not Asian.
So after the show, Nate's like had a serious like, listen, man, you're better than that. You don't need to do that. You're gonna write better jokes. It's gonna be like Nate's giving him this stuff. I'm sitting right there the whole time, like heart to heart. Like he wasn't being a dick.
Yeah.
He wasn't. He was just being sweet Nate. Like
He's
just
right. He's
yeah,
right.
and he's right. And he's like, dude, you're gonna come up with some better stuff than this. It's gonna be. And then And then after
That's hard to take as a young comic, though.
no, but then after the show, Nate just sat there and watched him sell like 50 t-shirts.
Coochie fruit.
And Nate goes up and say, "Hey man, just forget everything I said." It was,
Man,
it was
that's
beautiful.
awesome.
It's yeah, it was
Nate is awesome. He's got a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
People think because of his accent and his background that he's maybe like this kind of hayseed hillbilly. But he's a brilliant guy. He's very wise, and he knows so much about comedy because he did it all himself. Nobody would touch
Yeah.
him. Nobody would fuck with him. And he just kept his head down, never complained, never got bitter. I mean, he might have gotten bitter, but he kept it to himself and just kept. I mean, he's never had a TV show, almost. Never had a movie deal. He just made it all off stand-up, like Regan.
yeah.
He's great.
Dude, my favorite Brian Regan story is
Oh, please.
Joe Zimmerman was doing my show at the Stand,
Mhm.
and I'm just up in the green room or upstairs at the Stand, the old Stand, and Brian Regan singing. I was like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" I'm talking to him for a minute. I was like, "Hey, man," I'm like, "It's a sold out show now. They're a hot crowd. You wanna do some time? You wanna go out? Would love to have you." And he like
Wow.
yeah, and then he like he's like, "Oh, I don't perform when I'm drinking," because he was drinking the beers. I don't perform. Meanwhile, the entire time I'm talking to him, I'm holding a beer. And I'm just looking at him like, "All right, that's why you are where you are,
Yeah.
and I am where I am." I mean, there's other things involved, but you know what I mean? It was like,
Sure, that's great, though.
yeah, that just hurt. That
Yeah.
just made that was like a
I think you could have a beer or two. I think you're all right, but I get it.
yeah. I was
And-
like, "Ugh, all right."
And he likes to go hard. This is my Brian Regan story. I'm bombing at the Charlotte Comedy Zone. This is 6 years ago, headlining, bombing. This is 25.
Well, not a couple months ago.
No, this is 5-6 years ago. Bombing, getting titters, a couple laughs here. There's like 30 people in a room that seats 300. And I hear a guy in the back just howling. Ah! I'm like, well, at least that guy's into it. All right, fuck you, people. I get off stage. It's Regan. He's hammered. He's in the back drinking alone. And I've never met him. And I go, "Hey, Brian Regan, I'm a huge fan. What are you doing here?" He goes, "I did a theater in town. I was lonely. I wanted to have a drink. So I came to the club. Great stuff." I ended up getting hammered with him.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
I ended up drinking with him afterwards. Too,
Yeah.
like, with Joe Zimmerman, also great comic.
Killer
Yeah.
writer. Good writer. Underrated.
Yeah.
Check out Joe Zimmerman.
He's got he's done this podcast before.
Oh,
yeah.
Quit bragging.
So is Mike Somerville.
Oh, this is a real who's who over here. Who haven't you had?
A lot of people.
That's true.
But yeah, what the fuck was I gonna say about? But also like Gaffigan, I need to get Gaffigan when my Dry Bar comes out. Oh, speaking of which, I'm gonna do an album and a video recording with do you know the Secret Show guys?
Secret Show guys.
They're they're big fans of the podcast. They're like Brennan's podcast. They love Compound Media stuff. Compound Media. But I got some Compound Media shows I'm doing this week back in New York. But they do these secret shows up in Connecticut. It was especially big during COVID. They sell it out where it's like 150 people. It's like a giant party, and great. It's they all know you. Like everyone that's there like knows you from your podcast or knows you from like they just love you. So I'm gonna do because I want to beat out my Dry Bar. I want to put this out before my Dry Bar.
Oh,
do
good.
the adult version of my Dry Bar.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like and
This Dry Bar could be big, man. I mean, you're a New York seasoned comedian. A lot of these guys on Dry Bar, they're real square, like a lot of honky nobodies. And you're gonna come in there with a fucking act. Hey, this could be a hit.
Well, thanks, man. Yeah, no, the jokes were good. Like, and it's also like I did like the. I mean, I don't say like I did like the whole. You know who's great with me? Joe Larson. And Joe DeVito. Telling me like,
great.
yeah, both hilarious
Funny
comics.
guys.
Both did this podcast.
Whoa!
Hey, dropping names.
I'm telling you. This is better than I thought. I'm in good company.
But no, like I went through like that joke about my Aunt Judy.
Yep.
And like, oh, it looks like And Joe Larson's like, no, that's a good joke. You could do it. Just say, or maybe it's Joe DeVito that says, like, just say, oh, he looks like Ben Affleck, but with special needs.
Not Down syndrome.
So it takes that out.
Smart.
And then instead of saying, like, oh, I think he has Down, is like, say, no, I think he might have an extra chromosome.
Oh.
So do you get what I'm saying? Like, they were saying you can do the edgy stuff.
Yes.
You just gotta.
You got to bob and weave.
Yeah, you got to bob and weave.
That's how late night is. Hey, you got this joke where you say dick, you got to change it.
Yeah.
So you say my genitals or whatever, and it always hits harder.
Yeah, because they know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I did this. I haven't done the C word joke with you, but you probably see me do it in New York City.
Let's hear it.
The whole thing about doing a corporate show, and the lady's like, you're supposed to keep it clean. She's like, hey, make sure you say the C word. And I was like, oh, yeah. I go, I'll get it in there 5 times in the first 10 minutes. She goes, oh, that'd be great. We got a lot of Catholics who love it. And then I'm like, what's the C word you're talking about? And she says, Christmas.
Yeah, that's a great joke.
Yeah. So I changed it. I did it in the dry bar, but I go, oh, that's not the. So I change it where I go, which goes, oh, what's, because I talk about me being from Cleveland. So at the end of the thing is like, she asked me like, oh, what's the C word you thought I was talking? And I go, oh, Cleveland. So do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
But the other part already hit hard.
Right.
Because I say, hey, Merry Christmas, C words. And even though you're not allowed to swear, and they got it.
They got it.
It's fucking crushed.
I don't think they're gonna get it. You're saying a lot of innuendo. And stuff,
right. They don't give a shit.
But no,
they're good people.
You
they
work the system. My friend did dry bar. He's like a regular, I don't know, headliner comedian, but he's not famous. But he did dry bar. He got all these corporate gigs. Ford Motor Company flew him out on a private jet to do it. I mean, he's making a fortune.
Wow.
So it could happen to you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you never know. And those dry bars, they get numbers, man. I mean, they pay like shit, but you might get some serious views.
That's what I think. I'm gonna send them, because I mean, I have the thing. Like, I got my edits back before other people that did it before me, but I think because I was proactive, I recorded. I'm like, hey, could do this, do this.
Smart.
So, I already got it like kind of cut up. Like, oh, you can do this. Maybe call it this. And this clip, because like they do clips.
Yeah, you gotta have a good title.
Yeah, I was gonna call it the thing I gave them is just 40 and simple, even though I'm over 40. But like 40 and simple, like because a lot of my jokes are just being like a simple-minded dude, which
I like it.
I am So yeah, so all right, that's all right. Let's get back to you. You're fucking here. We don't need to hear about me.
All right,
we got a
have
few more minutes. Yeah.
Very good quality of bringing it back to you. It's a real skill you have. It's a talent.
All right, all right? Fuck me.
See, you did it again.
Yeah.
Fuck me. No.
Yeah. What's going on with you, man? Let's.
Hey, I'm here. I'm queer. I'm in Cincinnati. I'm flying back tomorrow. I go to Louisville. I'm on tour right now. I'm doing my first theater run. Coming up. Yeah.
Theaters.
I know. I'm nervous because your whole life is just, you got to sell tickets. You got to sell these out. Or you're going to kill yourself. If you don't sell them, the whole world will turn on you. Your agent will drop you. So I get like the Burt Kreischer. You see, he's promoting. He's doing videos. He's doing the fucking selfie video bullshit. All this stuff. And I'm like, what's he doing? He should be writing jokes. Why is he doing it? Now I get it, because the pressure to sell tickets is insane.
Do people love you, man?
Oh, we'll see.
No, stop it, man. Where are you going to?
Cleveland.
If I mean, I don't. If you need an opener,
all right. I've had about 78 people ask me for gigs, but that's the thing about theaters is like, people I don't know at all were like, hey, I see you're doing theaters. I'm like, oh, thanks.
I know the Agora. I was going to. I saw you, Joe List, the night before. I was going on the road, but he just did Hilarities. And I was leaving town, but he was doing the Agora with Louis C.K. and Johnny Fish.
Oh, I love Fish. Yeah. So people saw I was doing theaters, and they're like, "Can I open?" I'm like, "We've never hung out. We've never talked. At least I know you."
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
But that's just how people are. They're like, "Oh, that sounds like a great gig. I'll do that." I'm like, "Well,
you know what I can try to help you do, even if the Alan Cox show. Well, you know Santora.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can maybe I know Bill Squire. I know Alan. I know Alan Cox.
Oh, I know Bill.
Yeah.
Does anyone listen to that? Does that have any
he also
following?
has a podcast that's got a decent following in Cleveland.
Okay.
So it's a Cleveland following. It's Cleveland centric.
Maybe I can zoom in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Just to like promote it or whatever. And he's a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you think that would help, I would do it.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Squire too, and I know Santora. Maybe Santora could host. Might be nice to have a lady part on there, a little vaginal
There you
lesbian
go.
gum.
All right.
But
Well-
I already got a feature.
Don't worry about it, man. That's all good. That's all good. That's my tendonitis. I don't know if you.
Have you ever done the Agora?
No. I would have went to go watch List, Fish, and CK if I would have been in town, but I was hitting the road.
Ah, yeah,
were
they
there.
could have gotten you a ticket.
Yeah, like I would have went there just to hang.
Sure.
If I'm in town, I'll come hang.
All right, yeah, come hang.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, theater tour, Vic in Chicago, DC, Cleveland, Raleigh, Denver. We got a lot of hot dates. Minneapolis.
By the way, if you are in Denver and you just want some shit to like warm up, Kronberg's got a room there.
Oh, I like Kronberg.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll go in a night early.
Yeah. The Denver Comedy Lounge. Like, yeah, I mean, he'd love to have you.
Oh, I love Crony.
Yeah.
Good egg V-neck. He's got a deep V with a lot of chest hair. He's an odd duck, that
No,
Kronberg.
he's what do you
He's
call it?
ripped.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. He's like Flanders
Yes,
Flanders.
he's Flanders.
from The Simpsons. You're like, Jesus.
He's a hipster Flanders.
Yeah, he's like fucking jacked.
And some of the best one-liners.
Yeah,
Killer stuff.
and he's the same off stage as he is on stage.
Yeah, which I think is the key to being a good comic.
Yeah.
Look at Nate. Nate's the same guy on and off.
Right.
Now off stage is a little meaner, but same guy.
I never really seen him be mean.
Woo!
Really?
Oh, he can cut you down to the core if he wants to. I mean, look, I love Nate. I'm a fan, but he can really slice and dice you if he wants. Kind of like Seinfeld. Seinfeld has that ability to.
Only thing I saw about Seinfeld was when he went in at Bobcat.
Oh, that was ugly, huh?
Yeah, he does not like Bobcats.
No, well, he's got the he's
And to
got
his
the
point,
right
like
to.
I only know Bobcat when I was a kid from the weird voices.
Sure, but he shit on Seinfeld publicly.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, so Seinfeld's like, what the fuck? Why are you shitting on me? You do dumb voices. I'm a comedian. I write jokes. He's like, fuck you.
What did he say?
He just said, oh, Seinfeld's like a easy hack, like
What?
like what do you call it? Like stiff, square, observational, clean, dorky comic, basically. And
What?
Seinfeld's like, you're doing a gimmick. I'm doing comedy. Like, how can you shit on me? You shit on me because you can't do what I do. And they got back and they went back and forth.
Yeah, if I had to go comedy, I'm obviously I have nothing against Bobcat Goldthwait.
No, I don't either. I like him. I like his
But,
movies. I think
mean,
he's a nice guy.
And I like what he did with Barry Crimmins.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was great.
By the way, Barry Crimmins, that was on the street I grew up.
Ah,
He was like that apartment in Lakewood, Ohio, Waterbury. He was literally like, I was a kid on AOL Messenger, just a block down the street when he was like
wow.
calling out the people. But also that whole AOL Messenger thing, if you remember, like
You gotta tell people what you're talking about. You're going all in on this shit. They don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
You gotta remember there's people listening here.
Yeah, Barry Crimmins, very funny comic, originally from Boston. He had a documentary called Call Me Lucky, where he took down all the AOL
Pedophiles.
all the AOL pedophiles back in the mid to late 90s.
There you go.
Like, yeah, they were like, you can go into AOL chat rooms and like you can just message people. And I used to go in those. And message.
Oh, you were a
like-
pedophile?
No, I was 15 also at the time. But
Ah.
it was a family
in early.
computer.
Uh-huh.
So like part of it is like makes me like I was on my dad's computer. We just had my dad's email. My dad, and so I was on there as my dad talking to other 15-year-old, and my sisters were on there talking to other teenage boys using my
Yeah.
dad's email. Like,
Those
so
were the
I wonder how
days.
many dudes they came into their job and be like, hey, what were you saying in Nicole? It's Spokane, Washington.
Sure.
And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder how much, because if you remember, you might be too young to remember the early internet days.
Oh yeah. Dial up.
But yeah, but it was all under just a family email.
I remember, yeah.
Like, it wasn't like my own
No.
email.
I remember I jerked off with a guy in a chat room. He's like, I'm Veronica and I'm taking my tits out. And I was like 15. I was like, oh my God. And I jizz. And he goes, did you come? And I go, yeah. He goes, I'm a guy. You fucking homo. I was like, ah.
Gary Crimmins strikes again.
Yeah, he got me.
No, it's he was a great dude, by the way.
Great guy, funny guy, nice guy.
Yeah, he passed away. That was
He did?
Yeah, he died. He died a few years back, like 5 years ago. Dude, it seems like a lot of people. Yeah. By the way, I do think it's hilarious that they well, it's not hilarious, but I mean Geraldo, we all fucking love Geraldo, but this place opened after he died and they have his headshot. They got a poster of Geraldo.
Well, they got Carlin too.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
No, all right. Yeah.
They put all the dead people up. Patrice, Joan, Carlin, Pryor, all the big heavy hitter. Who else is dead? Kennison, Schimmel.
Patrice. I don't think they have Patrice up there. I wonder if Patrice really did a bunch of clubs before.
He did.
He did?
He did Hilarities once.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, and there's a famous story about him shitting on the military, and some guy's like, I'm a Marine. He's like, fuck you, bitch. And the guy walked out.
I do have because like back in the day, like when I would first got to New York and I would just like dip into New York and then leave, like I would just follow Jesse around and we could do late night at Boston Comedy Club. So we can do like late night and Patrice would be there sometimes.
Wow.
And
did you know him?
I did not know him. I did not. I knew of him and I know, but I never really had a conversation with him. But he used to be like, he'd be like, I had to get off stage for these motherfuckers and would like shit on us. It was weird. And it's like, I knew him from like Tough Crowd and all that. Yeah. So I'm not, but he would be a dick to you. And like, he'd make fun of your, it was funny. Like something about it was like, he didn't want to talk to me, but he would make fun of like me, Jesse, just what we're wearing and how shitty our jokes were and stuff. Yeah. And he was right. Don't get me wrong. Like, he was fucking right.
But he must have been insecure. Like, where does that come from? You know, like if you're making fun of everybody else, like what are you hiding?
I don't know.
I'm going into psychology.
High blood pressure.
I guess so. Yeah.
Cookie said he shouldn't be eating.
Yeah. But I remember one time Ted Alexandro was at the Cellar and he sat down at the table and it was, Tough Crowd days. Norton, DePaulo, Patrice, Keith, all that shit. And Ted sat down. He like looked at the paper to see when he was on. And they were like, look at this fucking sweater on this guy. Get the fuck out of here with that sweater. And he was like, all right. And he just walked away. And I remember being like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. Like, I thought you had to go, fuck you, you piece of shit. I thought you had to go back at him. But he was just like, I'm a grown up. I put a sweater on. I'm just here to do comedy. Why you guys like, I'm not part of your act. Like, stop trashing me. And he just walked away. And I remember being like, damn, that was pretty cool. I never thought to do that.
By the way, fucking hilarious. And one of the, not even nicest, but one of the sweetest people you could ever meet.
Ted.
Like, is Ted Alexander.
Yeah, the
just
sweetest guy.
Could not be any better of a person.
Yeah.
Like, he does things like, I don't consider myself an asshole, but like sometimes like some of the stuff he like, wow, maybe I'm a piece of shit. Like,
I know he does shit where I'm like, he must hate me because I say crazy shit. I try to be irreverent or whatever. So I'm like, does he hate me? And then he called me one day, like not too long ago. He's like, hey, I'm doing a YouTube special. You got any advice? I was like, oh, I thought you hated me. Oh. He was like, why would I hate you? I was like, I don't know. I just assumed.
No, dude, he's great and like one of the nicest dudes. I'm gonna get ready to wrap just to get you the fuck out of here.
All right.
We can keep going, but I'm gonna.
Well, have we hit an hour?
Where are we at?
Where are we at, folks?
No, we're not at an hour.
What
we got
are we
like
at?
Another 56 minutes.
Oh, all right. That flew by.
Yeah.
Your ADD kicked in, and it helps because it keeps you going. Some pods you do like, what else is going on? You don't have that. You can just go.
No. Well, that's the thing. Like, also, like, you don't. I'm always gonna come up with shit to say. Whether it's funny or stupid. Like, all right. What else I want to talk about? So go back to you, man. So where's the first spot in New York City you felt comfortable at?
Well, I was a Creek guy. Remember the Creek?
Yes.
So I went straight there.
I felt like I was too old for you guys.
No, they had old people there. Sean Patton, John F. O'Donnell they were older than me. James Adomian was a little older. You were welcome.
No, I had a show there.
Oh,
They're like,
there you
hey,
go.
shoot the shite.
Shoot the shite.
Dude, yeah, every third with Kronberg and Michelle Desnoyers.
Oh,
who's
that's right.
now the lead on The Baby on
Wow.
HBO Max. She's crushing it.
Wow, there you go. Good for her. But yeah, so when I moved there, I knew Sean Patton. He was the only lifeline I had in New York. He was like a kind of established guy when I moved there, and he was like, go to the creek. There's an open mic every night. Get to know everybody, get drunk, start your own show, do the mics, do the shows, figure it out. And I was too scared to do clubs. Clubs intimidated me because people paid money, like
and
they got
always felt
dressed up.
shady. No offense, but like going to Broadway, like I would always do that
too.
Broadway cafe and stuff. And it's always felt like,
yeah,
even when you were on shows, it never felt like overly welcomed.
Right, right. Well, there's so many comics that I think the clubs have to get defensive. Like, hey, who's this guy? We can't just book all of you. There's 8 million comics here. We know these 10. We like them. Get out of here. And I get that.
Yeah.
You had to like prove yourself over many years. People always say, how do you break into clubs? You know how I got into clubs? I lied. This was my move. This is how I got into stand-up New York. I'd go, hey, I'm doing Conan next week. I just wonder if I could run the 5 minutes. And they go, all right, this guy's going to have a TV credit. He only wants to do 5. It'll probably be killer stuff because it's a TV credit. And so I didn't have that, but I would go up and do 5 and it would go well. And they'd go, oh, we'll pass this guy. And that's how I got in.
There you go.
So then they'd be like, when's that Conan coming out? I'm like, I got bumped by Madonna,
Fucking Madonna.
But I was still in the club.
She's fucking Dennis Rodman. She's
I
fucking
know.
you.
She's fucking me. So yeah, I lied my way into a lot of clubs, but I got in.
Yeah. Well, also you could back it up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Advice to young comics: don't do that unless you can back it up. Like, yeah, you got to be able to back it up.
That's what annoys me about a lot of comics. Like, I used to get all these guys going, how'd you get on Colbert? I'm like, I sent the tape in, they approved it, I had to redo it, make another tape. They're like, can I get the email? And in my head, I'm like, you suck though. You're a bad comic.
Yeah.
Now you're just gonna be bad on TV. But they didn't care about that. They're just like, I'll have the credit though. And I'm like, yeah, this is already bad. If you're a comic, you should want to kill on TV. It's weird that you're like bad and willing to be bad on TV just for the credit.
Right.
That's a red flag right there.
Anyways, I'm willing to be bad on TV.
But you would do well. You have jokes.
Even if I didn't, I'm like, hey, what's going on, Colbert? How are you?
Sure.
Let's go. What am I, left or right today? Whatever.
Yeah.
This political shit is insane. I hate both sides.
I hate it too. I hate that it's divided comedy.
Well, it's never. What do you think politically? What's going to happen? It just seems like it keeps going wider between the two. I hate both.
I know.
Both.
I hate both too.
I hate them both.
I was reading something in the New York Times and they were like, there's 2 kinds of comedians, woke and anti-woke. I'm like, that's it? I'm not either one of those. I'm not woke and I'm not anti-woke. I'm just like comedy. I'm funny.
Yeah.
How about funny comedy? Like I don't give a shit about politics. I don't care about Biden. I don't care about if Trump shits his pants, I'm gonna make fun of it. If Biden shits his pants, I'll make fun of it. I hate these people like, well, I'm a lefty, so I can't shit on Biden, even though he's 700 years old and decrepit and retarded, but they won't shit on him because they're a lefty. I'm like, that's a horrible way to live.
Yeah.
That's not good comedy. Comedy should just be funny.
Yeah. It disgusts me. It really does. It's turned into like what Major League Baseball wants it to be, where they have major fans.
Yeah.
It's just fans. Major League Baseball lost all their fans and they're just in politics now.
Yeah.
Either team left or team right.
And
it's like, what about these Cleveland Guardians? How come no one wants to buy a ticket to watch?
Horrible
Remember
name.
Felix? He was a pretty good shortstop.
Latino.
Someone's got to watch Felix.
I know. And then what happens
Felix and Rocco, we got a hell of a lineup over here.
The division is so bad that the comics start fighting each other.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not on my team. And I'm like, we are on the same team. We're comics. I hate these people who are like, I'm one of these type of comics and you're not. So fuck you. And you're like, but we're comics though. It's very strange. It's like the Hutus and the Tutsis.
Yeah.
You want to be like, we're both black. Come after comics who are like getting shit. Like Shane Gillis gets SNL and they're like, let's get him. But like, why didn't you get him before that? Because you don't really care. It's almost like a big kill.
Yeah, you didn't give a fuck about him.
Yeah, I know.
Until then suddenly you're like,
They
it's not
want
like
the
you
kill.
were like on the warpath for him.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yes. They want the big game. They don't want the squirrel. They want the buffalo.
Well, Shane does look like a buffalo.
He does. He's a large, chunky man. But yeah, funny comic. But yeah,
very, very funny, dude. Dude, I remember him as an open micer when doing like Harrisburg and stuff, and yeah, he was fucking killer then, and just like everything he's got is like, well, his sketches are great.
I know he's just a funny all around, pound for pound, no pun intended.
There's a lot of pounds. There's a lot of pounds.
Sketches are good, comedy's good. He's good on podcasts, stand-up's good. So he's just a funny guy, and that's rare now.
Yeah, he's fucking great. And then who's dude, Ryan Long's crushing it with his sketch.
I feel like I'm seeing him everywhere.
Yeah, and my favorite sketch that he did was him and Danny did that sketch about
woke racist.
Yeah, where like the one's like crazy liberal and the other one, and they're the exact same person.
Yeah, that was
brilliant.
That was one of those things, like we've all had that thought, and then he did it so well with the sketch, like with the t-shirts.
Yeah,
they're both wearing the shirt. I mean, that was really well done. That went viral.
Yeah, dude, this is hilarious, man. You gotta. I never had anyone in the podcast like, yeah, you gotta edit this. Is I'm in the big leagues. I'm in the major leagues, man.
Wow, just saving you the headache. It's not worth it.
Yeah,
we're just trying to have fun here, folks.
Have you? I mean, I just don't want names, but why did you have some backlash at some point?
I've had some, and it hurts because it's like other comics where you're like, just talk to me. You know, why do you have to go online? Just come up and we'll work it out.
What was it over? Was it over a joke or was it over
all kinds of stuff? All kinds of jokes, behavior, shit I said.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you're like, well, if it really bothers you, just come talk to me. I'm a nice guy. I'm a reasonable guy. I don't want to hurt people. I don't understand these comics who are like, I walked half the room. I'm like, I don't want to walk the room. I want them to enjoy the show.
Right, yeah.
And so, if a comic or an audience member came up to me like, that really bothered me, that joke, I would think about it. I might not change it. I mean, sometimes people are just crazy, but I would absorb that and go, how can I tweak it to make it still funny, but not hurt somebody's feelings? I don't want to offend. I just do what I think is funny. And if it's in a joke about abortions and some lady's like, I've had abortions, I'm like, I paid for some, but I still got to do this joke.
Right.
You know, like we could do this all day. Like, well, I didn't like that. Well, he didn't like that. He didn't like it. So now I got to change my whole act.
Right. Yeah.
Because of you. It's a little bit entitled.
Yes. Yeah. I saw some viral clip at a Comedy Zone. Some lady like walked on stage.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
With the black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the white lady.
And she was like, the fact that she thought like everyone should be offended.
I know.
Like, are you serious?
You're delusional. And how about you just go, man, that really upset me, and then go home?
Yeah.
Why do you have to like do a thing and go on stage? And I don't know, like, isn't that worse what you're doing? He was attempting humor. You're trying to shut a show down. You're trying to like get a guy in trouble. That is way more. It's like when people go, well, you're a racist. You're like, I made a joke about black people. You're calling me a bad thing. You're the bad guy.
Right.
You're saying I'm a racist, but I was attempting humor. You're just trying to ruin my life. So isn't that worse? We could go all day about this.
What's the worst thing that happened to you on stage by an audience member?
I had a guy in the audience heckle me for like an hour straight. And I think he was a little off, like maybe Downsy or autistic or something. And I just snapped and I went off on the guy, but he was heckling me quietly. Like, you fucking suck. He was in the front row. Like, you suck. Kill yourself. Blow me. You're not funny. That joke sucked. And I just lost it.
Is this your uncle?
Yeah. And eventually,
how well did you know him?
I snapped on the guy, and everybody else was like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Because they didn't hear it.
They didn't hear it.
So it was actually well done by this fucking.
That's how you hear that,
retard.
people. That's how you do it if you want
yeah.
to get on her.
So one guy in the back goes, hey, leave him alone. And I was like, no, you don't understand. This guy's a piece of shit. He was trashing me the whole show. And they're like, I didn't hear anything. And I'm like, and he's kind of looking up at me like, I got you.
I got you.
So then I lost on him again. And he was like a fat, ugly guy. And I was like, you fucking incel. You're a virgin. You probably haven't gotten laid in 10 years. Fuck you. And he stood up and I was like, let's fucking go. I looked at him. I'm not a tough guy, but I could have taken this guy. Like, he was just like he looked like Kevin Smith. And eventually he got thrown out and they were dragging his fat ass out, and I was shitting on him the whole way out. And I lost the whole crowd because they're like, that was totally one-sided. You're super mean to that guy. And I'm like, you don't understand. So the whole rest of the show was ruined.
Wow. How long ago was this? Last night.
Yeah.
Last night.
This was, I guess, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Hartford Funny Bone.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad.
That's yeah, I mean, fuck that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, they got rid of him, but it got ugly. But I've had worse nights than that. Did you ever tell about the roast I did?
No.
I'll tell you that, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So I did a set at the Cellar. This is 7 years ago. It went great. So some guy with a cigar and a fucking 3-piece suit, slick back hair, finance guy was like, you got to come roast my hedge fund. That was a great set. You'd be perfect. I want you to be vicious, tear these guys apart. Let's be in touch. I go, here's my email. Yeah. He goes, here's how much money it's going to be. I go, oh my God, it was like $5,000. At the time, that's a lot of money. Still a lot of money.
Still a lot of money. I'm down. I'm down.
Still a lot of money. And he goes, I'm going to give you a rap sheet of all the dirt on the staff.
Oh.
I had every employee, cokehead, cheats on his wife, secretly gay, neglects his kids, whatever it is, 8 DUIs, alcoholic. I had all this shit. So I was like writing my face off I wanted to do a good job.
You're like, this is good stuff.
It was great stuff.
I can work with this.
So the guy goes, here's the address. He emailed me everything. And I was upstate in, what's that area called? Up
Buffalo?
No, not that high.
Albany?
Not Greenwich. What's it called? Right above Manhattan.
Oh, Yonkers?
No. It's like a nice area.
New Rochelle?
No. It's a neighborhood. Nick Kroll's from there.
I don't know.
Westchester.
Yeah.
So it's a nice area. So
I know that's a nice area from rap songs.
Yeah. I take the Metro North up there. I get off at the stop. He tells me it just lets out of this beautiful golf course. That's where it is. It's at the golf course, of course, in the golf club.
That's where all these degenerates hang when they're not working.
It was a country club.
Every piece of shit.
Every car was a Ferrari, Maserati, Porsche, Lamborghini, Benz.
You're about to roast the cartel from Ozarks.
Yes.
Navarro, you piece of shit. How many people did you have cremated last week?
Yeah. So I go in, I'm a little nervous. White tablecloth, wait staff's fully dressed to the nine. Everybody's gorgeous, good looking. Everybody looks like Gordon Gekko. I find the guy out on the back deck. He's overlooking the valley with a scotch in his hand. He's like, this is going to be great. I'll warm him up. I'll do 5 minutes. Yeah, he does a line off my dick. And he's like, I want to get him warmed up, and I'm going to bring you up and do like 45 to an hour. I was like, great, you got it. So everybody's eating, round tables, in this beautiful banquet hall. And he goes up and he goes, boo, the feedback on the mic. Hey, everybody. Yeah, how you guys doing? All right. And, everybody's like eating. They turn there with their wife, their kids. And the kids are there. Yeah.
It's a hell of a time to find out about your dad's prostitutes.
Yes, exactly. So I'm waiting in the wings. I'm kind of nervous. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. How's this going to go? Whatever. And he does like 2 minutes. He's like, how you doing, Roger? You fucking piece of shit. Look at this fucking asshole. All right, fun stuff, a little ribbing.
Remember when I fingered you?
Yeah.
That was last Thursday.
Yes. And he goes, I'm gonna bring up a professional now. This guy's at the Comedy Cellar. I saw him there. He killed it. He's gonna kill it tonight. Put your hands together for Mike Normal. I'm like, all right, here we go.
That's a good. From the start, it's a good time to get your name wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You're Mike Normal.
Yes. And so I go up there and I'm kind of confident because I'm like, I got a stack of notes here. I'm just going to annihilate. And he kept saying, be vicious, be vicious. I was like, great. So I go up and I go, hey, Bob.
That bloody tampon in your hand. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to slap Marie in the face with this.
Oh, yeah.
You left this in the restroom, you cunt.
Yes. I wish I had done that. That would have done better. So I go, hey, Bob, Bob Johnson. He goes, hey, everybody. We go, we know you're the head of accounting. He's like, doing this shit. His wife's patting him like, yeah, we love you, Bob. And we go, we all know you're a cokehead, you fucking piece of shit. You got problems. You do coke in the break room. Everybody knows it. You leave the residue. You got shit in your nose. Your nose is bleeding. You fucking piece of shit. And he's like, And his wife's like, what? You told me you quit? Oh my God, his kids are crying.
You told me you quit.
She flips
did
the
not
table
say
over.
You told me you quit.
I mean, they're fighting. I don't
That
see
is
what's going
hilarious.
on.
She's like, you told me you quit.
Yeah.
She flips over the table.
The whole thing was bad. So then I was like, all right, forget that. That was a fluke. Let me go to Jeffrey Williams. So, hey, Jeff Williams. Hey, how you doing? Hey, we all know you're cheating on your wife. You two-timing piece of shit. And he's like, his wife's there. She's like, I knew it. She's crying. So I go, all right, that's not good either. Let me move it on. So I go, hey, William Johnson, we all know you're gay. Just come out. And his wife's like, you are. The kids shit themselves. Everybody freaks out. So
the kids, I like how the kids knew it being gay. They're like 4. They're like, I knew my dad was gay.
They knew. So that was like the first 2 minutes, and it was all going to shit. Families are breaking up. They're getting divorced. He's gay now. He's blowing
Who's
him.
the guy that hired you? What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Let's say his name is John. Is she just like laughing the whole time?
No, he hates it.
Oh, he hates it.
He
I
hates
thought
it.
he would be the only one enjoying it.
No, he hates it. I'm bombing. I'm not just bombing. They hate me. They're fighting. They're yelling. They're going, get this guy off of here. This is bad. And everybody's worried I'm going to hit them, you know? So I can tell this is going horribly. So I'm like, let me go into my act. So I'm like, Uber, huh? That's weird. And they're like, nah. I probably did about 14 minutes, and the guy hit me with the big cane and pulled me off of there. And he didn't want to pay me. I had to like beg for the money, and I went back home.
Well, you did get paid though.
I got paid, but he was like, you piece of shit. You fucked me. You really I'm like, you said be vicious. You gave me the notes. I did everything you said. He's like, I thought you were going to come in here and kill. I thought you were professional. I thought you knew what you were doing. I'm like, I thought you knew what I was doing.
Yeah,
you told me what to say.
Me.
You hired me. Yeah.
You saw me.
He blamed it all on me. He was like, you fucked up. This is somehow your fault. I'm like, I don't know what you want. What do you want? I did all the jokes you told me. I wrote jokes about the shit you gave me. You said be vicious. I was vicious. He's like, but you weren't funny. They weren't laughing. I'm like, well, I don't know. I just went off what you told me. So it got pretty ugly. But he's like, here's the fucking check. Get out of my face. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, tough night.
But you got the check and
got the check.
He's not a booker, so it's not like it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah.
The check cleared, right?
Check cleared, and I got a story out of it for your pod.
Dude, thanks for hanging.
Thank you for having me.
I'm gonna do an intro. I'm gonna take out some stuff, obviously.
There you go.
Where can people find you? I mean,
MarkNormanComedy.com. Plus, I got my own podcast, Tuesdays with Stories. We Might Be Drunk. Check out to Lunch on YouTube, stand-ups on Netflix, and I'll see you on Grindr. Praise Allah.
That's funny.
Comedy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.